Hey, this is Nelfie. I'm gonna do a log analysis of Omnicious. Posted in the Discord. He's first on the line. So I actually didn't go watch the videos yet, but I'm trying to squeeze this out since we got a couple in queue here. But I wanted to start and look at some of the heroic parses you did on this. You said this is one of the ones you said you did worse on, but I noticed that the item level percentages weren't really too much different in normal, even though you did more DPS on some of them. So on a fight like this, you're doing 51st percentile for item level, which isn't terrible by any means, but you could definitely do better. And one of the things I noticed was when I went to buffs is that your heroism lined up with the second one of these, but I'm not so sure that during this arcane power you were casting arcane explosion too much. Let's see. Oh, you were spamming it during there. Maybe that was the other one. Was it Spellblade? Oh no, it was Tycon. I don't remember which one it was. I was just looking at. But that's one thing when you're looking to do more damage overall, and especially on some of these fights, you're going to want to try to line your arcane power up and just spam arcane explosion like you did here. And that's where you're going to get most of your DPS from. If you look at your damage, I bet you, yep, your spike of damage all came from right here. And even your other spots where you had a lot of arcane explosion spam, a lot of it is that's what's boosting your damage in a fight like Scorpion. Not even necessarily the time when he goes vulnerable. That's not where you're going to do the most damage. That might be where you're doing the most single target damage, and maybe on Mythic you want to push that and save cooldowns to push him as far as you can there. But as far as parsing better in normal and heroic, that's what you're going to want to do. And so there was that. And let's go to Spellblade because I think there was something similar here. Yeah, right here is what it was. So you had your arcane power up. I'm not sure if you knew when you guys were gonna hero, or if you didn't know. Did you die here? No. So a couple things right here. You probably should have held that arcane power till about here. Then you could have dropped it and spammed arcane explosion till all the ads were dead. And once again, this is heroic, so I don't know what phase is, what part is that? Is that fire? If that's fire, then you should be able to hit a good amount of them because you want them roughly near each other with your arcane explosion. And then right after that, you should have heroed again because you have the time warp ring. So you could have heroed again during your second arcane power, and that'll net you more damage as well. Or if you have Cephas, you can run interrupts on this fight since you get interrupts. So those are a couple things you could do there. And Rutrow, I didn't select you. Omnicious. Thought there was something else in this fight that I saw. Maybe not. Maybe it was... I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious what you were doing on High Botanist, even though you guys didn't get all the way through it. I didn't look at this yet, but let's see. Where did you die? Not too early. Okay. So let's go here and back. So at this point, I'm assuming is when you were hitting two people with Arcane Explosion. Let's check your Arcane Explosion. Yeah, it was hitting at least two people. One thing I highly advise here is, let's see, enemy damage taken, all enemies, the Parasitic Lashers. It shows that they took damage from Arcane Explosion, but I'm going to deselect everything here. It doesn't let me do it like that. Let's click all these rather than going about this another longer way, I guess, that I probably should be doing as well. Let's see, is there a way to make the... Whatever all these things are, I don't want them. How do I scroll that down? Show all entries. Is that how I do that? There used to be a click. Oh, never mind. I don't want to do that. I found the arrow. Oh my. Alright, well, while that's loading, we can go to... You guys just struggle on High Botanist, huh? Let's go to Gul'dan, because I think this is a big fight where people struggle in general. Oh, you didn't do too bad. Okay, so a lot of damage is going to come from Blast, but I don't think I see enough explosion damage on this fight. Let's see, this was doing damage. Oh, this is only at the beginning. So, here's a trick in this fight. When the eyes come out, this does happen in normal, right? Yeah, there's still eyes in normal. When the eyes come out, what you can do is you can hit the eyes and Gul'dan, and in Heroic, you can hit the other Fell guy that comes out, all with Arcane Explosion, and barrage into the boss. And so if you're saving mana, you can do that. But you can hit everything with Arcane Explosion. Let me check as well, now that I mention it. Looks like you guys didn't do Elisond. However, you skipped that on this, or maybe this was Pug. But that's something that you want to do for sure on this fight, because you're one of the only classes that can hit all of them. So that's really nice to be able to do that. As well as on Elisond, when there's certain times when the blue ad, the red ad, and the boss are out, and when all of them are out, you want to be Arcane Explosioning there, because you can hit all three of them. And that's why you do that. Let's see. Let's click that off. Raging Blow, Poisonous Streams, Volley. I wish I knew how to do this better, but I don't. So we're going to do it this way. And so that's another fight, as well as High Botanist later on. When you have all three of them out, you can hit the Parasitic Lashers, or Parasitic Lashers, and however many bosses are there if you position yourself in between them. And so that's really awesome to be able to gain a little bit of extra DPS from that. Those are all fights where Arcane Explosion, it seems like padding, but in reality you're just spreading your damage to be able to hit more things, which is what you would want to do if you have the option. Reset everything, I think. Vendor Shield. I want that. I want that. Okay. So, this is damage done to what? The Parasitic Lashers. Yeah, so Barrage, Blast, and Arcane Orb are all things that are hitting them, and that's good that Arcane Orb's up for that. And so you could also, if you're running Arcane Orb on this, on High Botanist, you'll want to be hitting those and all the bosses with Arcane Orb. And so that and Explosion, Arcane Orb and Arcane Explosion are going to be your bread and butters here. I probably wouldn't spend your Arcane Missiles unless you had 3 stacks, which it looks like you might have. And I would try to refrain from barraging, since you can hit the Parasitic Lashers and the bosses, but you can't hit both of them with a barrage unless somehow they kite them into the boss or something. That could be a thing, like a strat, I don't know. So unless they're all stacked, that's when you'd want a barrage, or if you're really that mana starved as well. So that's something to check on High Botanist. Let's see, I want to see your single target stuff too. I didn't look specifically at that, but let's, oh, friendlies, damage done. Let's see, did you die here? I was like, I hope you died. Let's look before that, though. See how much damage you were doing. Because you could do more than 431. I mean, Marksman and Beast Mastery Hunters were doing pretty low, too. But I think you could do more than this, especially if you got your second heroism. But we'll just look at this for now. Let's see your boofs. Okay, Rune of Powers, up, Prolonged Pot, Time Warp, Arcane Power, your Presence of Minds are lined up there, and let me look at your resources, because if there's a problem in single target, then, this is a problem. At least I think it's a problem, unless, let me watch the replay here, and see what you do. Rune of Power. Do you run charged up? I sure hope so, because if not, your opener's wrong as well. Arcane Blast, Arcane Blast, Rune of Power. That's after your Arcane Power's up. Then you Arcane Blast. You weren't casting for some reason there. Not sure why. Then use your Arcane Missiles, Blast. Just wondering why it takes you so long through Heroism to get your mana gone. That just seems like a really long time to be waiting for all of your mana to be gone. Maybe that's a normal thing. Let me pull that up on my logs and see if I do the same thing. Melfi, Crosis. Maybe you don't have enough haste or something? Oh, touche. You're beating me. Let's see. If I click on here and I go to all sources, Melfi, resources, hit points, mana, does it take me? I guess maybe you just have less haste than me. Let me check your haste again. Compare. Oh, analyze. Heroic Crosis, Omnicious. I thought you had. Oh, wait, you're right here. Yellow. 18% haste. Yeah, I'm running probably a lot more than that, but I hit it in. I ran out in 33 seconds, and you ran out at about 49 seconds, so another 16 seconds. And I think your activity rate through here, let's see what that was. Oh, I can't check it with just you. Let's see. Give me just a second. Oh, I thought someone pulled into my driveway. So right here, I think your activity is 95. That's not horrific, but I don't know. Maybe it just seemed like you took a little bit of breaks there casting. But I think as far as your single target, it looks decent, and maybe dropping some mastery. And I don't know if this as well is in your frost gear or if it's your arcane gear as well, or what legendaries you might have on top of this. But you don't want 40% mastery. You definitely want, because it shows that you're in Glacial Spike right now, so maybe that's why. But you don't want 40% mastery. I would say max maybe like 30, 33, 35 with the heroism and no legendaries for mana. But I would say maybe like 30, 33%, and you could split that up between crit, haste, and versatility. That'll make your abilities hit harder. Outside of that, there's not too much there. Let's look at Star Auger. How'd you do here? Dead. Okay. Let's go to Trilliax. Did you die on this one too as well? Yeah, you died here as well. Okay. So there's that. Maybe we could look at Chronomatic Anomaly, because your single target should be roughly close on here. Any deaths? No. Missed your second heroism as well again. Let's see. Here are your buffs. Pulling powers up, arcane power. During this, you miss time warp again with your ability. And if this is okay, I guess, if you have the time warp ring, you'd like to line that up. That's kind of just unlucky timing because it's right in between two. You can almost get another one in. So I'd probably still use it here. But you have the time warp ring. So if it ends and it gets to your cooldowns, you go Rune of Power, Arcane Power, and then Heroism, and then finish off. And you use the Presence of Mind outside, which I'm not sure I would do outside of Arcane Power almost ever. So there's that. And I think it was this one that you had weird mana management. Yeah, this is super bad. Super bad. So you should definitely have evocated way earlier than a minute in any fight. And that's what I was doing here. Watch, I'll show you something that I think you did. You ran with charged up, so you would think, oh, it's okay if he barrages, but so there's your barrage casts, and here's your mana. So let me go back and show your charged up cast as well. So you actually could have done this almost right. On the way down where your mana's coming down like this, you charged up, and then you did your burst, and then you do your burst, and then right here you could have barraged into charged up and then continued burning and just cast it all the way down here. But instead you came back up, then dropped, then went over here, then you barraged for some reason, which I'm not 100% sure. What is this chronomat? Maybe for increased speed to move over to the ads or something. And then you evocated, came up, and then you cast... Oh, then you cast charge up once you got up. Even though I think you might have spent the mana to build that back up, maybe not. And then you never cast charged up again. If you're going to run charged up over resonance, you're going to want to use it like on cooldown every 40 seconds. You just barrage and charge back up again. A lot of times I like to do it like if I get up to 4 stacks and I have like 2 arcane missiles, I'll barrage charged up and then use my missiles, and then barrage again. Or even just use 1 missile so that your arcane barrage can come off cooldown again. But you only use it twice in that fight. So that's something you'd want to do, and burn your mana way quicker, because at the beginning of the fight it's all single target. And then if it gets to a point where the second ad comes out, I don't know, maybe he comes out around like 40 seconds, something like that. Then once he comes out, if you still have 75% mana, you can go in between them and just Arcane Explosion both of them, and then dump your Arcane Missile charges. So you could do that as well. But yeah, that's how you can help on that. I think that's most of it that I'm going to go over specifically for you. And just to give you a couple ideas, maybe we'll pick something like Spellblade Heroic. I want to give you an idea of what you could be looking at, I guess. You lived on this, right? Yeah. So this fight was super not good for you for whatever reason. 456, and let's compare you and see what other people your item level are doing. You did 456. Some people are doing, well, I wouldn't say you should expect to do 900k because they just have different legendaries and stuff, but I would say you could definitely be over 700k, easily over 600 without too much crazy stuff going on. Like some of these people, he has chest in Exodar right here, and he's running almost the same talents. I mean, he has an Arcanal Crystal, which is good for him, but and he's running Resonance instead of Charged Up. But you could be looking at damage like this. They have the same amount of kill time, same item level, roughly same amount of people, and so you can definitely pull over 600k on these fights. Let's not look at that. Let's go to another kill as well. Maybe something like Croesus, and we'll compare that and see what other people are doing. You're having over 500k, most people. And let's find someone with your legendaries. Here's 2 legendaries that you have. Norganun's, or Shard of the Exodar, and a non-DPS one. He's running Charged Up as well with Shimmer, and he's got Ethereal Urn and Moonlit Prism. So he's doing over 500k, and you were doing, let's see, damage done, analyze. I think you died on this. Yeah, I think so. But before you were doing like 470, so you're kind of on track to do something like that. And on a Scorpion, you're not going to want to see this, but let's see, you did 770. You're like, oh, I did pretty good there. These people go crazy on this fight. Let's see, there's like millions. Yeah, a couple million. This is heroic still. Yeah. So while I wouldn't say your 770 is bad, I would say there's room for improvement. So, but that's all I'm going to go over right now for you, and I'll post this up and shoot a link to it in the log analysis request text channel. But thanks. If this helps you out, please keep helping me out and keep the Discord active and participate. Thanks.